This 5-note box shape approach is accessible for beginners, but many pro players use it to unlock some amazing guitar solos. There are 3 main benefits in using this 5-note box shape. First, it's a great way to visualize this shape on the fretboard. It's easily accessible. Number 2, your solos start to instantly sound musical. And number 3, you can easily expand this 5-note approach. Let's learn how to use this 5-note box shape in a beginner-friendly breakdown. Coming right up. If you're new to soloing or struggling to solo, like some longtime beginners, some of you players have been trying to solo and struggling for years, and I was the same way. This lesson will give you a much needed new perspective on soloing. For me, I struggle to use the full pentatonic 6-string pattern. It's a lot of notes, and it's just hard to make it sound musical. At least I struggled for years with it. It always sounded mechanical to me. But this 5-note box really helped me play my solos with more feeling and much more confidence. There's just so many options within that little box. Let's first master the 5-note box. We're going to use the key of A for these examples. I'll leave a link for this backing track. Just using the chords, A chord, D, and E. Just 3 chords, but we're really not going to look at the chord changes, although this box helps you play over each one of those chords, and it sounds good over the whole progression. So I'm showing all the notes of the box, but by far the most important one is this A note in the 10th fret of the B string. I have it colored in red on the diagram because this is your pivot point, your anchor, foundation. There's so many words you can use, but this is it. That's the note you want to get back to. We want to visualize this box shape in the key of A with this pivot point. Your first finger really just stays in this position no matter what you're doing around the box. I like to wrap my thumb over the top even for this with my first finger at a slight angle on this A note, the 10th fret of the B string. This gives me a lot of control over the strings if I want to slightly bend. So coming up, I'm going to show you how this pivot point, you can add to it, add notes right around this box that does sound great over the entire progression. Hey, if this lesson's helpful, hit that thumbs up button. I really do appreciate all your support. So the next great way that this box is useful is you can make it sound musical very easily. The full pentatonic shapes with 6 strings, for me, I always struggled with. But once someone showed me this little box, it was like a light bulb turned on, and I was able to play around those notes. Let me break down those few phrases right there because those will go a long way. They sound good over every chord. So you can slide even from way, down the neck here to that first note in the box, which is the 11th fret of the G string, and then hitting that home bass note, the 10th fret of the B string, the A note. And then you can do a slight bend right there on the 12th fret of the B string. And then even do another bend, slight bend, and then back to, so on 12 here, your third finger needs to be here. Your first and third have to be able to pivot. So slight bend on 12 of the B string, release, hitting 12, back to home base. That's what makes it sound good. You're not continually playing up and down a scale, even though these 5 notes are within the A major pentatonic scale. It helps me, limiting yourself this way just helps you create phrases within the scale, within this little box shape, and you pause for a second and then play another one. Or, that's always a good one. So you do that slight bend on 12 of the B string, hitting 12, back to home base, then hammer on and pull off from 10, 12, 10 on the B string. So you just hit it one time. Not an easy task for a beginner or someone who even has been soloing for a while. This is a tough little move, but it sounds so good. Just work on that. So you're just striking. First you strike 10 on the B string, then you hammer on and pull off. It's hard to do slow actually, but you need to work on it slow before you can do it fast. Then hitting 11 on the G, the top of that little box, back to the home base. Some players call this the House of Blues pattern in box shapes and all kinds of different things. I just like to say solo box, and the key is dictated by your first finger there, this A note. Now we can expand this 5-note pentatonic box by just moving the box up 2 frets or down 2 frets. So the first pattern we just learned, but if you go just shift this down 2 frets, this pattern's used in many blues and rock solos, but this is a minor pentatonic. 2 frets up is A major pentatonic. Actually, this little note here is shifted up, this D note here. But I just like keeping the box together because it sounds good. You don't need to get deep into theory about this. I want you to visualize it. Just look down at the fretboard, see these shapes. So you can just take a slight bend here on the 8th fret of the E string with your first finger, and then hitting 8 to 10 on the B string. And then you can do a little pull off that sounds great. So you're hitting 10, pulling off to 8 on the B string. Just one hit, and then hitting 9 on the G string. That's a great little lick. And you're in position here. You can slide to get up to 9 on the G string, hitting this G note, but your note that you always want to get back to is the A note, but now you're hitting it with your 3rd finger. You can bend a full bend up on 10 of the E string, release, hitting 10, 8, and then you're back to home base with your 3rd finger on the 10th fret of the B string. And you can use that same motion. That sounds good with almost any blues rock progression in A. All these examples are in A, but this little box shape is movable to any key, and it really does work over most blues rock backing tracks. So slide up to this minor pentatonic sounding 9, 8 on the B string. Then go up to 11 with 10 on the B string. Then go back to those same licks. You can bend, once you get to the center one again, you can bend up a whole tone. Take it in 3 simple steps. Full bend. You're trying to get to that C sharp note. You're bending on a B note here on the 12th fret of the B string. And then hit that note to make sure you're reaching that tone. Good practice. Bend. Then walk up 10, 11, 12 on the E string, and then do that little move that we did earlier. All within this little box. So many sounds and creative things you can do right here. And then if you really want to get adventurous, as it goes to the E chord, you can shift this up 2 more frets. Check this out. And this really works great over the E chord as it's turning around. This is getting a little more advanced here, but knowing that's an option is always good. But also the little piece, this 4-note box, you can just slide up from there. So you hit your root note here, the root note, 10th fret here of the B string, sliding up from 12 to 14, hitting 12 on the E string. This is an E note. Then back down, 12, 14, then pulling down from 14 to 12 on the B string, hitting back to that home bass note. This is your pivot point. I like to really anchor my finger there. Even when you just grab your guitar and noodle around, and there's nothing wrong with playing around with these type of licks. This is just a simple way to just express yourself, play with some feeling, and most of all, you're playing with more confidence because these notes sound good over all 3 chords. This was a light bulb moment for me when someone showed me this simple little box and a way to pivot. You have an anchor point, a foundation to build on. That's what's important. It sounds good and it's fun. Let me know if the lesson was helpful, and I'd love to hear some ideas how I could improve or expand on this topic. Always good to see you, and keep rocking, everyone.